First thing here is this exhaust manifold I'm going to pull off. I tried to pull this muffler off. You can see right there I got the clamp off of it, and that is pressed on there and rusted on there so tight it will not come apart there. So I'll just leave the darn thing together. I have found these exhaust manifold bolts a lot of times like to twist off instead of screw out, and I found if you can get an impact on them and just tap on them a little bit, sometimes that gives you better luck for getting them out. It came out just right. Got to get this blow-by hose off of there so I can get into this bolt there. Boy, that turned out just perfect. I didn't twist a single bolt off. Okay, the oil pan next to take a look and see what's going on. And look at that bearing. It's no wonder that threw a rod. That's real typical to what you'd probably see in this situation. But somebody else ahead of us had pulled that pan off to look in there. And I find it real curious they didn't even bother to dump the oil out of it when they had the pan off. The reason we know the pan was pulled off is because there were only 4 bolts. You can see there's probably 20 bolts that go in that all the way around, and there was only 4 bolts and they were all loose. And so somebody pulled it off to look at it to see what was going on. Had some water down in the bottom of that. It froze into ice. But there's one of the connecting rod bolts, and something I really didn't like to see here. That there has got to be the oil pump gear.
Oh, it's part of the...
Can't get it.
No, it's
Stuck. That crank, you can tell it's not real smooth, but it doesn't have any real bad edges on it. I think it very likely can be turned, but we got this pulled out, and I don't know, there's the other bolt. So one of those bolts came loose and the other one broke off. At this point, everything feels nice and tight, except for that number 4 piston there. Everything else seems nice and tight. So I'm going to have to figure out where that gear came from. Okay, I got to admit that I'm kind of stumped on the design of this motor. This is something else I've never seen. I don't know what these 2 shafts are. There and there, but I'll show you here in a minute when I crawl out. Anyway, this crank, I don't see anything on there that probably couldn't be turned down so that we can put some, turn the crank and put some new oversized bearings in it. Anyway, so that's good news, the way that looks to me. But this piece here, I'm not sure. This piece, this side is tied in with the oil pump. So I found where that gear goes right there. So that gear is, I think, likely, looking at the what things look like, this gear might have been the first thing that went bad on it, but I'm not going to be able to see up into there, it looks like. But anyway, this gear goes up in there and runs off this gear up in there, and then turns this piece inside that I was showing you. And like I say, I'm stumped. If anybody knows right offhand what that system is, leave a comment. I'm sure I'll be able to go look in the manual and figure things out here. But so I think likely this is probably what initiated this whole problem here, was this gear right there. So okay, I think I got this phone set. You can see right there, this piece that's turning, you can see right there, and so this twisted off of that. So this gear, these gears meshed together. You can see this bolt right here is distorted, so that sheared off and came down, and getting out of the way there distorted that bolt a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to have to go do some research and find out what these 2 rods are. Something I've never seen before. I'm sure a lot of you might be able to tell me right off the top of your head what's going on there, but anyway, I'll have to do some research and look in the book and figure out what's going on. But I would bet that this was what instigated the whole problem. Anyway, we'll cut things off here, and thanks for watching.